Morning everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to another trade recap and start breaking this one down. And as per, he's going to mark out the low of the 15-minute time frame here where we started looking for longs from, because this is the next day and that Baja hadn't happened yet. So this was a loss, unfortunately. And we traded it in the New York again. Looked quite late as well. This was late for me. I'd actually come back from the sauna, but again, I missed sunset. You know what I mean? I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I am someone who isn't used to spending a lot of hours on a computer and sitting still. And yeah, I need to get out and about quite a lot. And this was like teasing us all day. I like this area, and I was waiting around. And we could say, I wanted to touch on this a little bit, on getting to the point now where I could really do with some money, getting a bit skint, and yeah, trading is taking full priority over every other aspect of my life, really, to get some coconut tokens in my back pocket. But yeah, and I've got to be careful of that, because you can always find a trade. You know what I mean? The longer you look at a computer, the charts, you'll find somewhere to enter. Whether it's the right trade or not, it's a different story. Not to say that this isn't a good trade. I would have taken this all day long. Proper fits the edge. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is the timing. So as I said, it's getting late now. It's 8 out of my normal trading hours. And also this was pretty close to a news release, and it's a lesson I learned ages ago, and it's something what I want to share with you guys, which is quite an important little note, is before a news release, there's going to be a lot of volume usually during a news release. So just before it, you wouldn't find there's much strength in the market. It kind of just is tiptoeing around a little bit and just waiting for the big move. And this is, yeah, about 40 minutes before a news release. So you can see it's almost like the setup was sweet, but we just haven't got the fuel to do anything. And we end up getting taken out. Well, that's what I thought of the trade anyway. So yeah, very happy with this trade. We'll break it down now on the charts, but I think the things to take away from here is, just stick to the trading hours. Don't have to go looking for trades 24/7. You know what I mean? The markets are open, 24/5. And if you really want to be in the market, you can be. But there is a very, very big element of trading where less is more. If you overtrade, then it can be quite dangerous. Anyhow, shut up, Martin. So straight away we can see we're right in smack bang in the center of a very strong level of demand that has flipped this strong level of supply, broken through, dropped all this inducement. You could say it has broken this high here, but only with a little wick. But yeah, we're just pro trend on the daily. Same with the ranges. We have just created a little demand to supply range flip short, and I did say, there we go, I'm not really looking for shorts until we start seeing levels of demand go, and we are actually seeing supply step into the market a bit here now, but we are also still pro daily swing structure and in a strong POI, so was happy to look for longs. 4 hour isn't the strongest. I've still got that down as demand. But what I do really like on the 4 hour, let's just get rid of these. Should have done that before, sorry. Is let's look at this price action down here. Okay, so supply come down. we haven't actually mitigated anything that clear here, but you can see this is a big sweep, come back up, and look, here's our flip model, yeah. So this has swept supply side liquidity. Just gonna move this up. Swept liquidity. So if supply wanted to continue the trend short here and take out this low, it's got the fuel to do so, but fails to do so, and instead drops inducement. And we're breaking swing structure, breaking good strength to the left, breaking daily supply. So this is a very interesting area. And what I was playing from here, I was looking at entries from here, but it didn't happen. We just broke through. And I thought, okay, well this could still be the inducement. And we've got some wicks down here. This is pretty clear on the 15-minute when we go down to it in a minute. So yeah, higher time frame narrative, pro trend, still on the daily, and we serve them from our point of interest that create a flip, definitely on the daily, and 4 hour is looking strong as well. Even though we're kind of playing from wicks here, but you can see this kind of price action, what's broken out of this swing structure, isn't looking nice. So I like this. It was nice. So let's go down to the 15-minute. And yeah, we'll go back to, yeah, where are we? Come on. Way back here. Boom. Lovely. Look at that. So this level of supply, let me get rid of the 4 hour for a second. So this level of supply, come up, big push down. You can see that this is where supply is strong in the market. It breaks out of these ranges and causing demand flips and all the good stuff. Come back up, price tests it, fails to break the low, sweeps liquidity, mitigates demand order flow, goes on, drops all this inducement, and this is where that 4 hour break starts happening. Fuel before the big break. Okay, so this was nice, and we're right in the extremity here. I'm not going to go down to the 1 minute, but there was clean on the 1 minute down here as well. But yeah, it's back in April, so it's not that relevant. I want to stick to the higher time frame stuff this far back. But yeah, you can see that's a good test, supply, fail, demand, sweep, and then broke through. Do we have flip inducement? Yes. Point of interest that created a 15-minute flip or above, a 15-minute flip and goes on to a 4 hour flip above, and a daily, Swept liquidity. Yeah, you just get out of the way. Liquidity, happy days. And then, I wasn't going off the 1 minute here. We still wanted to see a clean setup, which we got by getting a. So this is all London, and again, as I said, market kind of confluence a little bit is if London has had one kind of pretty clear bias, then sometimes we can see New York go counter that. Not definite, it's just you see a lot. So then I went down to the 1 minute, and we were reacting off this pretty much bang on. We got a little bit of our liquidity within our point of interest as well. So additional cherries, liquidity sweep within our point of interest, yeah. Do we have market confidence? Yeah, because now we're in the New York and we're going counter what London did. And are we serving from a range that flipped to sync with a higher time frame trend? You'll see this in a second, but look, this was our 15-minute supply range. And as we're getting our 1-minute chock and our flips, I'm just going to get them trade mark out. It's easier. No, let's do it as we go. Excuse me. Chock short. I mean, that's the chock long there, but I just went for this one. There's no real clean flip going on yet. I saw this is the strong level of supply that I wanted to see go. I'll just leave that as a flip for now because. So that was our level of supply. Sorry. That I want to see flipped. And there was. Hang on. Yeah, this was too aggressive. There is little kind of entries going on here, but again, this hasn't been broken yet. This hasn't had a real clean interaction. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really class that as like a. It's not that clean. You know what I mean? No need to force it. I just want to see this level of supply go. But we are creating a bit of demand order flow as well before the break. Low time frame flip. And see how the 15-minute supply range has now been broken as well. So now we've got our additional cherry of mid lower time frame range flipped to sync with our daily trend in our strong daily demand level. So yeah, it's out of trading hours, but I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm eager to make some money, and we got our setup. So I was ready to go for it. I saw this whole bit as the inducement. We could be aggressive and say, you know, these little inside bars are inducement, you know, but there was a little something down here. Let's have a little look in the 5 seconds. And again, I'm just not going to chase it. See how clean that little flip is. See this level of supply. It's getting tested, 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 fails, and then breaks through. So that's that badger. We had all that. I mean, yeah, it's actually almost like looking at this bit. Crazy, isn't it, really? But I mean, sometimes when I say this shit out loud on the 5 seconds, these little points of interest. But I've seen price action go from these. You know, stuff what maybe it won't go from, but it's definitely areas that I want to cover. You know what I mean? Even to this point down here, we've got the same stuff going on. And I believe I wanted to cover a fair bit of this as well. Can't remember where we actually went from now. Yeah, I did have that covered as well. You know, there's no need to get really tight and be up here. I wanted, yeah, can you see that? Let me just. There she was. So there's our chock short, chock long. There's our flip. We're seeing low, even on the seconds, lots of flip. Demand order flow, supply to demand range flip. In our daily demand point of interest, that created a higher time frame flip as well. The only thing I can really take away from this is that at 3 o'clock we had not a restricted news release, but a red news release. I don't think it even does much to the market. I haven't actually checked this morning yet. Doesn't really have much impact. But I mean, just from my psychological side of things, like I don't usually want to trade that close to a red news release because there probably won't be much volume in the market. You know what I mean? So it just shows that I am looking for trades. Anyway, get tapped. We do end up coming into this little extremity here, which makes sense because it's the extremity. You could say that all this was the inducement, and we got a good reaction. And also this is copied over to our challenge. Right, so I had our take profit set as 1 to 4 on my live account. Again, I just didn't want to play with that management or following 1 minute trend and move my stop loss up. Just wanted 1 to 4 because it's late in the night now, and that's great trade. So yeah, had the take profit set as 987, 987, and then what I did was sign out of my live account, and then I signed into my FTMO challenge broker, where obviously the trade was also still running. Remove my take profit. Well, no, I kept on there actually because still it was 1 to 4. But around here, I think we need about, yeah, we're probably about that far away from passing the challenge. And this was a good reaction. So I was like, come on, baby. And we played around a little bit, and then unfortunately took us out. So yeah, took a loss. No dramas, no. Happy with the whole setup. Good high time frame, pro trend. Yeah, again, just out of my trading hours. Maybe not enough fuel in the market for, especially a Friday evening as well. Then again, no, it's Friday in New York, isn't it? Before news. Yeah, could be any factor. Could just be the probability. You know, if this went, I would have been annoyed I'm not in it because it's the edge. You know what I mean? So happy with it. Anyway, what do we end up doing? Where was the news? Let's have a look. I don't think it even does anything. That was the news at 3. There you go. It gave us a little wick. Wow, did we actually go? I thought we went short. Yeah, it did break. Well, that's quite cheeky, isn't it? Never mind. All good. Yeah, that's that trade. And let's have a little look at the proof. So yeah, we've seen that. And then, as I said, it copied over to our challenge account as well. Whoop. You don't want to see all my pictures. So still up 1% on our live account. Copied over to our challenge. Yeah, up 5%, 5.5% on our challenge as well. And that is the end of the week. So now time for the weekend. Brilliant. Thanks, guys. I hope that's helping. And I'll see you on the next recap. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye. Okay, so let's have a look at our entry criteria in picture perfect format. So we're going to start off with demand. So we're looking for buys, and on the higher time frame, pro trend. Okay, so when you see me ticking the boxes, are we pro trend? This is kind of what I have in my mind, what we're seeing. Alright, we want to be seeing higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then when we come back within the previous range, it's important that we're back into the range. I don't want to be taking longs after the breakout. I want to see price pull back. Usually be a refined point of interest somewhere here. I'm happy to be pretty aggressive and just go straight for the 15-minute entry model combined with our 1-minute entry execution, obviously. But yeah, there's no real clean flips or anything we need to see. I just want to see demand range order flow, demand swing structure, order flow, lows holding, highs getting broken, and this is simply trend is your friend. You know, if we start seeing that demand is still serving from these refined points of interest, then we're going to go with the flow, man. I also have, are we serving from a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement? All that good stuff, pro trend as well, because yeah, that's still great. This has been flipping levels, and we've got inducement, we've got a point of interest, and we're pro trend. It's even stronger, so that's nice. But I'm happy to just simply go with range and swing structure order flow. Okay. So moving over to still in the higher time frame, but now counter trend, and you can see there's a little bit more going on now because we want a bit more confidence because we're kind of going against the grain here. So we want to see a bit more confidence. So are we serving from a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement? Okay. So you would see something like, again, we're still looking for buys, we're looking for demand, but you would see like supply creating lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, failing to create a lower low. Okay, coming up, testing this level of supply, which is a strong level because it broke structure. Okay, so it's got to test a strong level of supply. Still fails to create a new low, and then demand breaks supply serve, breaks out. Okay, and what you'll see here is, I'll say this breakout stops, because when the market sees that there's more demand than supply in the market, there'll be a lot of orders and stops underneath the previous low, and that's our liquidity, that's our fuel for our counter trend move. Okay, so we want to be coming down, and like this could be X amount of time, this could be a couple of years, doesn't even matter. If we're seeing a strong high time frame set up like this, okay, and we've had all this price action happen, and then we've had supply is actually currently serving. But if we're in a strong point of interest that is like swept liquidity, got inducement, and created a strong flip, then we can go down to our 15-minute entry model combined with a 1-minute entry model. Right, but really important, got inducement, and it's created a flip. Okie doke. So that's our counter trend higher time frame. Okay, so now onto the 15-minute time frame. Now, the 15-minute, there's no more pro or counter trend setups. It's just the same setup. Either way we're going. Alright, so this is either the supply pulling back into our pro trend range, most recent range, yeah, or this is supply coming into our strong counter trend point of interest. Okay, and it's pretty much the same details as the counter trend. We see supply causing a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, but failing to create a lower low. You could see a bit of range price action going on here, creating liquidity, like a bit of indecision in the market or fair price, whatever you want to call it. And then supply, which is a strong level of supply because it broke structure. Yeah, it's come up. And now if it's going to continue the trend short on the 15-minute, it would have swept liquidity and create a new lower low, breaking this low here. Right? So it sweeps liquidity, it's got a fair chance by having the fuel to do so, and still fails to create a new low. And demand holds. Now what's happened is demand has actually swept liquidity, mitigated some demand order flow, mitigated our pro trend range, mitigated our counter trend strong point of interest, come back up, tested supply, supply is still failing, and actually breaks supply, okay, and has a flip. So do we have a flip? Sorry, do we have flip inducement? I've got these the wrong way around, really. Yep, so same detail as I just explained. We'll see these breakout, market breaking out, and there'll be a lot of orders and stops placed underneath the previous low. That's the fuel you want. So do we have flip inducement? Yes. Are we selling from a point of interest that created a 15-minute flip or above? Yes. So this is demand that basically broke supply serve, range flip, all the good stuff. And very important on the 15-minute as well is, are we serving from an area that's swept liquidity? Okay, because if you haven't swept liquidity, you become the liquidity. Alright. So yeah, that's our 15-minute entry model. Yeah, both pro and counter trend. Then once we see all this setting up, and we've had the inducement, we're kind of pulling back now into the extremity, this is where we're looking for our 1 minute entry model. Boom, boom. This is game time. So yeah, this will be our 15-minute point of interest. I should have done this on all the time frames really. That's this badger. Now here. And what we want to see is, again, like price actions fractal, yeah? We want to buy, so we want to see that demand is serving. We want to see that there's more demand than supply in the market. Now we're seeing that on the high time frame, whether it's pro trend or from a strong point of interest that's flipped. We're now seeing that on the 15-minute time frame, that demand is a broken supply serve. And now we just want to see it on the 1 minute time frame. And if we see that, then probability is on our side that buys are a go. Little additional cherry, yeah, the Asian sweep. We'll like to see this as well. So this would be like the Asian market, and we'll come down around London, after 7 AM, London Open. If we start seeing this kind of price action, it's even extra juicier, but it's not a must. It's just an additional cherry. So you'll see, yeah, on my entry criteria, the 1 minute entry model, do we have a minimum of 1 minute chock? Okay. Chock is basically a change of character, a change of trend. And the reason I had this 1 minute is because I have been aggressive in the past. This is more for me, that you see me go down the seconds, and when I have like a real high probability or strong, high time frame, 15-minute point of interest, sometimes I can get carried away on the seconds, and you'll see a big push in on the 1 minute. You'll see like 30 seconds set up and the flip and change of character and stuff, and then we'll get an entry, and all it does is it comes up to the previous high of the 1 minute and just continues the 1 minute trend short, does an extra sweep, and then goes. So I like a 1 minute chock. I want to see this minimum on the 1 minute change of character. But anyway, yeah, another little additional cherry would be that our liquidity is within our point of interest. You'll see supply coming down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, test this level of supply, fail to break the low, and then demand break. Okay, and again, on this little breakout in the 1 minute, there'll be stops and orders below here. This is the inducement and the fuel. Now, sometimes price does go from here, or you can call these the decisionals. But again, I just learned to personally, I just go from the extremities every time, to keep the probabilities in my favour. So yeah, do we have a minimum of 1 minute chock? Yes. Has there been a flip? Yeah, so suppliers had a chance to continue the trend here, but it's failed and then got broken. Have we swept liquidity? Yep. This is the bit where we would have swept this liquidity, ideally within our 15-minute point of interest. And do we have inducement? Do we have fuel for the move to come? Yeah, just flip inducement is ideal. We want it before the flip. Okay, and then that's when price will be coming back into this area here, and we'll be hitting market execute. It should be flying to the moon, and yeah, our trade management will be going from there. Cool. Okay, so obviously it's going to be the same for supply. I am going to make a quick little video for supply as well, just to get eyes on from the way. But that is what we're looking for in the trade to come.